A new article from the New York Times Magazine analyzes the rhetoric of former President Donald Trump and how it's evolved since 2016. Charles Homans writes, quote, Trump has always said what he means in his speeches. He is also constantly obscuring it by instinct or by design, contradicting his own statements or waving them off as jokes, scribbling over them with tangents and lies and just plain weirdness. One of the first things I noticed watching him last year, though, is that this is less true than it once was. And Charles Homans joins us now. He's national politics reporter for The Times. James, Charles, good to see you. I really appreciate it. You've attended 7 Trump rallies in 7 states since October. Can you kind of explain this evolution in his rhetoric that you've witnessed?
Sure. I mean, it's interesting going out on and watching Trump on the trail now versus when he was president, after he was president, when he was campaigning in 2016. You know, the speeches are a little less improvised than they used to be, and you see more kind of repetition of themes more clearly than you used to. And as I write in the story, I think that if you look at the way he talked before, it was very much, you know, this sort of us versus them rhetoric, but it was a little bit longer on the us, and he was talking very much about his supporters and kind of what he would do for them. And now it's really very much about them. It's about the enemy and about all the forces that he sees and claims are sort of arrayed against him and his supporters, and, you know, what he intends to do about it if he's elected president.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of those supporters, how have they changed between then and now?
I mean, it's interesting, like, since the last time he ran, I mean, really, since before the last time he ran in 2020, you know, he's so fully taken over the Republican Party that you can't really, I think, distinguish all that clearly between, you know, it used to be that Trump supporters were, you know, I write in the story, this kind of pirate ship energy about his rallies, even when he was president to a degree. And that's less true now. It feels like you're just sort of looking at, you know, and talking to a real cross-section of the Republican electorate.
Yeah, I think, you know, obviously the big headlines involving Trump are these criminal cases that he's contending with. But it's interesting because you described them as an extraordinary gift. Can you kind of contextualize that for us?
Sure. I mean, the story that Trump tells at his rallies is very much how his presidency was thwarted by Democrats, by, you know, the quote-unquote deep state, by the media, by all these enemies that are sort of surrounding him all the time. And he's really used the trials and talking about his various prosecutions in his rallies to kind of extend that narrative, and uses that as sort of an example of, you know, what he's up against. And a point that he makes over and over again is that, you know, he has a line, you know, they're coming for me, you know, because I'm standing in their way, or they're coming for me because they can't get to you. You know, he presents himself as sort of this bulwark between these forces and his supporters. And of course, there's no real evidence that there are prosecutions pending against his supporters, but it's very much, you know, central to his narrative at this point.
Yeah, I mean, another issue obviously central to his narrative has been immigration, and his rhetoric around immigration has, you know, been controversial since the day he announced his first bid for the presidency in 2016. But I'm curious if that rhetoric has evolved over these past 8 years.
It very much has, and especially in the last couple of years, and even really while he's been campaigning this year. He's kind of shifted into talking about that more as the crisis on the border becomes a bigger issue in general. But the way that he talks about it is actually different from how he talked about it when he first ran for president, when, as you said, this was a big theme of his campaign. Now he really presents it as a conspiracy by Democrats to, you know, let these people into the country to build this base of power from which they can govern forever. And of course, there's no evidence that this is true. But this is a message that he really hits home now, which is a real step beyond the way that he talked about immigration as president and when he was running in 2016.
And I'm curious, Charles, what kind of effect has this had on other politicians? You have kind of this moment referring to Joe Wilson back in 2009 where he said, "You lie," and you say, you know, that kind of, you know, pre-Trump politics is exotically distant now. Have others kind of emulated this style now?
Certainly. I mean, I think in a way it's interesting. Trump has become such a dominant figure in Republican politics that he's become a less distinctive figure in a way. He's clearly very distinctive and has a profile unlike anybody else in the party, of course. But, this is a matter of style and even the substance of his politics. Like, you can point to all sorts of figures. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a great example of somebody who's really kind of embraced and I think kind of understands how these politics work, and has sort of, particularly on immigration, played a very vocal role, confronting President Biden at the State of the Union, in kind of doing what Trump has been doing.
Right. Well, Charles Homans, this is a fascinating piece. I encourage everyone to read it, and a very consequential piece as we're heading into November. Thank you so much for your time and reporting.
Thanks for having me.